Hi, caretakers. My name is Tanya Galloway, and I wanted to share my story with you about the most amazing product, PureWick. My mother became very ill last year, and we literally were in hospitals and rehabs for months. And if you are a caretaker, and one of the things that we knew because we had lost my father last year, and because of COVID, we were not able to be with him at the very end. And that was horrible because when someone was there with him, he was doing well. As soon as we were no longer allowed to be with him and help take care of him, that's when he got very ill and passed. So it was really important to us to not leave a loved one alone. I've been in the hospital for weeks and days, staying with family members, my children, my parents. Um, so, determined not to lose another parent, I was staying with mom. And that includes, if you've been a caretaker, you know how exhausting that is. That meant I was getting up all through the night to help take care of mom because she'd have to go to the bathroom. And it was really, really hard because she was so very weak. She had been very, very ill. And then, of course, trying to feed her during the day. And it is absolutely exhausting for a caretaker. Now, this was not a situation that her husband would have been able to handle. He's, actually a lot older than she is. And so he would not have been able to get up all through the night to help take care of her. So if you're in that situation where you have got to take care of somebody because you love them and you want them to do as well as they can, finding a product that can make a profound difference is so important. And we were talking to one of our nurses at one point and talking about how exhausted we were because mom was having to get up to, tinkle through the night. And just, we were not getting any sleep at all. And she said, "Well, why don't I go get you a PureWick?" And we're like, "PureWick, what is that?" And she's told us it was an external catheter. And then she went and she got one. Well, I don't know why somebody hadn't gotten that earlier, and not every place where we were at had these. So we determined it was so important that we were going to get one for her. And so I did the research and I found out that I could order one online, which was fabulous. And so we ordered one right away. And then when we were transferred to a rehabilitation center that did not have the PureWick, we were able to use that. Now, let me tell you, mom loves this so much. Every single person that we met, every nurse, every, medical worker, we were telling and praising about the PureWick and the difference that it was making. It was allowing her body to heal more because she wasn't getting exhausted just by having to get up to go tinkle all through the night and through the day. So it really wasn't just doing one thing for her. It wasn't just helping take care of that one thing. It was allowing her body to get the rest that it needed so that she could repair and get stronger. And this is something that we're, using today. When we brought her home for months and months, it was still so exhausting for her to try to get up and go to the restroom. So we use the PureWick 24 hours a day. Super easy to use. And, you'll notice the link on this video where you can look at the instructional video, but it's super easy to use. And so we have been using that for her ongoingly. Now, this is 8, 9 months later, and it's still something she's gotten to the point where she's gotten strong enough to be able to get to the restroom, which is not very far from her chair where she sits during the day. So we're talking maybe 10 feet. And even that can be exhausting. And if she's had a fall or had a bad day, then we've had to go back on using the Pickwick during the day. But it's so wonderful that we have it. So I just want to encourage everyone to check out the Pickwick system. It is phenomenal. It is a life changer. It was my opportunity as a caretaker to actually be able to sleep through the night. And, if you're taking care of a loved one, And you know how exhausting that can be. And we still had a baby monitor. And it has just been wonderful, though, that having to get her up and having to do multiple changes through the night because, those diapers don't always work really well. So that was really great not to have to do that all the time. Now, there's great products out there, like the Depends and things like that, that you can use during the day when you're out and about. But to have something to get a good night's sleep, to have something when you're just having a tough day, that you can sit there and allow that to be one thing you don't have to worry about, is such a life changer. And I'm so grateful for the Pickwick system. And I am so grateful, having heard the story of how it was developed, for the man who invented it. A scientist actually invented it because he was the caretaker for his wife, and he had to quit a very prestigious, career to take care of her. And that's what love does. That is the kind of person that you want to have in your life. And it was just so exhausting for him to have to take care of her and change those diapers and twist her, and make sure she was, being taken care of in the proper way. So he didn't know what to do to help take care of her. There wasn't anything on the market, so he invented it. Clever man. And he took it to the idea to her doctor, and together they teamed up and created this as a product for everybody because they realized how important this was. So please, check on the link below and go and find the Pickwick product for yourself and see the difference that it can make in your life. And thank you for the Pickwick team for developing this. And hopefully, you will notice it is a bit pricier than getting those Depends and all those other things that you're doing. And so, my hope is the more we can get the word out there, the more people that are using this, maybe we can lower that price, that we have as consumers to use that, because the system itself is a little over $500. And then the little bananas, the little collecting items that you put on it every day, it's super easy to use, easy to clean, but it is a little bit pricey because I want to say those run about $5 a piece. No, 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 no. I think they're $3 per one of those bananas. So depending on how often you're having to use them, if you have to use two a day, then you're looking at, you know, $6, which can really add up with all the other products you're probably having to buy newly. But now mom's only needing to use one a day just at night. And so please check it out. And I'm hoping that the more we get the word out and the more popular this becomes, maybe we can lower that price a little bit for everybody. Um, Thank you so much for tuning in. Spread the word. If there is someone you know that is taking care of someone in recovery, whether it's a young person or an old person, or someone, if you've got a loved one, an older woman who deals with incontinence, and that's one of those things we don't talk about, start that conversation, because there is probably a woman in your life that could use a good night's sleep, and the Pure Wick is the answer for that, for her and for you. Thanks. All my love. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.